Yeah, it's your boy Fist in his house, bringing another great edition of Black Ops 2 for me to you, because that's what I do. The foul, you missed the foul. The foul. This is post-patch foul. This is before it was even patched the first time. Video from post-patch, first patch foul. Look, I like to use different weapons in the beginning, and so brings me to my next little thought here. Before I was going to make this video, I was watching Twitch, and I got a lot to talk about today. So have a seat, relax, and enjoy this commentary, because there's a lot of stuff I talked about on Twitter. You know, it's been a week, so I sit down with my boys on YouTube, talk to you, shoot the stuff, because we do have Advanced Warfare and what that's all gonna mean, and Destiny and all that, and I'm gonna get into all that. But going back to the beginning, what I was saying, I went on and I'm watching Twitch. And I'm watching Twitch, and I see, you know, maybe like what Vaughn and all those guys were saying about ground war domination. I'm watching a bunch of guys who are just, you know, they get up on a team and they go and kill people, and that's what they do. They kill whore, you know, they sit on the spawns, they kill people. And it's funny to me because it's like they'll have a couple games where they'll have like 2 chem games, 3 chem games. And I'm saying to myself, I mean, okay, you're doing it on certain maps. Let's see what you can do on this map. And the very next game, you know, their skills go down the toilet because they're like one weapon wonders, and they don't really have the complete Call of Duty skills. They just know, go to where the spawns are, get the kill streaks up. They're not really playing the game. And you see a lot of things like, you know, what's your kill death ratio? Of course, if you're rolling with a team and you're sitting in a spawn and you guys are communicating and trapping people, and of course your kill death ratio is going to be 3 and 4.0. But to truly enjoy this game and be a Call of Duty fan, and that's why I hate it when people give these people this type of audience, you know, is that's not what the game is. And when it is amplified like that, and you see the developers watching videos like that, they get pissed off, and they're like, that's not what they made the game for. And so they go off in this totally different direction, and they try to kill the whole YouTube scene about high kill score games and blah blah blah, and it just turns into garbage, and it goes in a different direction, and it was never meant to go that way. But you know, unfortunately, videos, the way people play, the way people perceive the perception of the game, and the way the devs see people play the game, it irks them, and they change it, and that they don't have to do that. So going back to the Twitch video I was watching today, so I'm seeing these guys get like 2 or 3 chems on a team, and you know, they're doing it because they're on a team, and they're doing it because the game is like old as dust. I mean, you think about it, the game's been out 12 months, right? But the funny thing is they can't do it on every map, and they're one weapon wonders, you know what I mean? So they only know how to contain certain maps because of the spawns. That's the ticket. Once they get into maps that are more open, and the spawns are unpredictable, then they show that they're really not a Call of Duty fan. And that's unfortunate, because developers should see that and say, that's not the fault of the way people are playing the game. They're exploiting it based on how we develop the game, on the spawns. So if you don't want people to be that way, change how the spawns are. Now the game is completely being changed, and now we're in this situation. Now we're in this situation where, you know, they want you to go very deep into this game. You know, we went off on a tangent. Now Call of Duty isn't Call of Duty, where it's just a pick up and play game. Now this is where we're now going on to talk about. I was mentioning this on Twitter. And we had a big discussion this morning. I woke up, baby was crying. You know, I got up and started talking about Call of Duty. And what I was saying is that here's what happens. You have a bunch of games that are going to be coming out this year. A lot of people ask my opinions on this because, I play the game differently. I play against myself. I go out and see how I can play against multiple players with multiple weapons. I try to truly enjoy the game. See all the weapons, test everything out, see all the limitations. This way you can have an answer for every situation. It was funny, I was watching the guy on Twitch, he's like, I got no answer for the snipers. And I'm just sitting there laughing. Well, you're running around with a honey badger silenced, trying to shoot people at long distance, you know, on a certain map. You know, maps are weapon specific. So if you don't change your style, of course you're going to get owned. So anyways, that's because you don't know Call of Duty. That's why you're not a true Call of Duty fan. And I'm not hating. You still got time. You still got a lot to learn. But I'm not calling no names out. Look, there's people out there. They all try to get their shine on. So going back, what's going to happen? And if I don't finish it up in this video, then I'll cover it in the Fist 2 video and the link below in the description. Because I will. It's basically a Call of Duty podcast, a mini podcast every week that I do. So Advanced Warfare is going to be released Monday. I'm going to do a live breakdown of the videos that are out because I won't be home during the presentation that is going to be on Xbox Live. So I'll do the replay from my Xbox. I have to set all that shit up that I don't want to do, but I'm going to do it. But what I'm seeing and what I'm saying to people, because we were discussing it on Twitter, is that we've already seen this happen not too long ago. People, for example, you look at Titanfall. All this hype was put on Titanfall. Everybody, wow, this is the next thing since bread and butter. And I even got caught in the hype. I'm not going to lie. But the problem is that nobody wants to invest time in learning a new game. Not learning a new game, but learning a game where you have a level that you have to learn, you know, a style of the way you have to learn the guns, the weapons, you have to power up everything, you know, so on and so forth. So once you get that group of people who want to spend that time doing that, then what happens to the new people once they come into the game that they have to learn? And they get beat up by the people that get there first, and they kill all these people. Well, what happens, you kill all the new people that come into the game, so they're never going to play it again. They're going to try it, and if they get their ass kicked, they're not going to play the game. Anyways, I'm going to finish this conversation up on Fist 2. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. You want to hear the end of this. This is interesting. We were talking about this madly on Twitter. Until next time, it's your boy Fist. Peace, I'm out. Link below.